Hi everyone, Trina here, and this will be 2.8. And we just got done talking about the serpent staff and the meanings, some of the meanings of the serpent. And I just find that serpent wisdom profound because literally it's the symbol for our medical systems. It's the symbol of healing, and it's always been a symbol for healing. The serpent wisdom, like I said, it's another one of those strong inversions because most of us, when we think of snakes, we think of danger. We think of evil. We think of Satan because of our Christian belief systems of, the Garden of Eden and the serpent and all this stuff. So we've had some deep fear of the serpent. And that's another thing that's done on purpose, because if you fear the serpent, you're never going to receive the gifts of the serpent. And the serpent is the spinal power. And the serpent is, that's why it's the symbol of the Caduceus, is because when you are healing, it's like there has to be an agreement in the body between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. And that's why this deep trance work is so powerful, because you can go into your memories and go into your trauma and into your body, and you can literally talk to it. And that's the divine feminine part of you. That's the hidden part of you. It's the dark part of you. It's the subconscious mind. It's the part of you that makes your eyes blink and your hair grow and your food digest and all the chemicals in the body that are producing. This is all mama, parasympathetic nervous system. And when you can have an agreement between the parasympathetic and the autonomic nervous system, when they agree, that's when you see miracles. Literally, spontaneous healing occurs. Trauma that is so hard to get rid of, it's gone instantly. All the memory is intact, but you have a new awareness. And through that new perspective and seeing it from a different position, it's no longer can hold the charge in your body that it once held over you. And most of us are operating from these programs that we've received, and mainly subconsciously. So it's kind of hard to fix something if you don't know where it's at or what it is or how it even got there. But that's the gift of going into the mother. That's the gift of going into your subconscious mind. These treasures, she has them all for you. They're all there waiting. So this is another reason why this serpent is so profound. And interesting that she named this group of the goat and the serpent. That's profound. It's like, to me, when she said that, literally I saw the symbol of the cosmic egg with the serpent wrapped around it. It's creation surrounded by wisdom. Wow, that's beautiful. Now see, these symbols have been so twisted around in our mind, so it's time to start activating them in their appropriate meaning, because the cosmic egg is a symbol of all life. And then the serpent, the true meaning of the serpent from the most ancient systems, and these are consistent throughout the globe and throughout history until Christianity. The serpent was always regarded as the highest tool for healing, transformation, and basically magical alchemical properties. The things that can happen through the serpent literally are miraculous. Healers, you've seen this. When people activate that magic in the spine, and I call it when all three agree. The body, mind, and spirit. When all three agree, it activates that magic, the kundalini, which is the power of the activation of the cerebral spinal fluid in the spine. It's almost like, the way my mind sees it is when the pineal gland is ignited, it literally bathes the fluid in like a golden light, and it literally lights up the spine, the fluid, in the spine, because the cerebral spinal fluid, it's a totally separate system in your body. That water never goes into any of the other waters of the body. And like if you have a major trauma to your head, they have to keep it into the digestive systems. It has to stay within the systems. So like they will put a shunt in your head and put it right back into the stomach. So these systems are very different. And the cerebral spinal fluid, it's, I think, the carrier of light code. So when you activate your pineal gland, you're literally bathing that golden river of water that runs only within your spine. And that is the messenger of God. So I think this is what they talk about, the messenger of God. This is the messenger of God within you. It's the awakening of the pineal gland, and that stimulation produces light. And that light fills that water, and the water delivers the codes to your body and to the world. So that's how I see it being done. So the power of the serpent. We need to start to appreciate the power of the serpent and understand its power. And I literally had a vision of cutting myself out of the belly of a serpent when I had received such profound gnosis about the false God's false construct, the illusion of this world as a matrix and as a holographic projection and expression, albeit a very beautiful, intelligent one. But this is looking like that's what it is. And when I realized that, and I realized that I might be in a matrix, that's when I started having visions of my sleeping self, which I was calling my sleeping beauty. And I didn't know why I was calling it my sleeping beauty. And now I'm wondering, because I kept seeing Sleeping Beauty, and then I was asking my daughter, I go, what does Sleeping Beauty mean to you? And she goes, duh, Mom, it's Aurora. And it hit me. It's like the Aurora Borealis and the Aurora Borealis. So there's deep connections to all this wisdom. And I think part of this wisdom is part of connecting to the divine feminine. And as we've always been taught to go up to heaven, to connect to heavenly realms, I think the divine feminine is telling us that you go into the core of the earth and you connect to my other sun, the spark, the plasma sun. And it's connecting back to the inner core, the inner you, the inner wisdom, the parasympathetic nervous system, the subconscious mind, the part of you that knows how to operate your entire body. You have no... we almost couldn't put the processes and the complicated things happening within our body and our genetics and our blood and our breath and all of these things, just to even categorize them and describe the functions of the processes of the physical body in one day would need a supercomputer. Just the processes of bending your arm literally takes 800 processes minimum. It's impossible to think that it takes 800 things to move an arm. It does. When you look at kinesiology and you see the process of what it takes to move an arm, it's a profound thing. So what's happening on that subconscious part of you is where the original templates are of creation. This is where you connect to the universal cosmic wisdom. This is why it's called the cosmic egg. And that cosmic wisdom is within you. Because as that spark of that intelligent light, that living life force of you, that is spirit, that little piece has connection to the whole. So with that, you have all the potential to receive any of that information, potential wisdom within the laws of this construct. But we're here to break laws and bend laws because we're moving dimensions. This is what I see. So the things that used to be won't be anymore because the vibration's changing. And that's about Earth and her ascension. And we get to go on the ride with her, which is super amazing. And I don't think it's been done before. So we're doing something new. We're doing something exciting, something that took a lot of brave souls to come and do, and not to give up hope and to not get caught up in the matrix, and remember your spirit and remember your purpose and remember you came here to do something new. And what it was to deliver and anchor the new light to the planet, and it would come through you. So it's our job to be the best we can be for Earth and for Earth's ascension, because that's why we came. We came literally as anchors and towers to filter the new light through us and our awareness and bring it into the Earth. And then the Earth would express it. And then we could see heaven on earth. I know that sounds completely amazing and insane, but vibration controls all matter. And if the vibration gets high enough, all matter will change. And when I had that vision when I was like 10 years old, when I was a little girl, and I saw like the 3 days of darkness in the world, the Lord popped it, or God popped it, and it disappeared. And I thought, everybody's dead. And I freaked out. And then he was like, my child, if I created it, do you not think I would not know how to care for it? And then it came back and it was light. And it was such a different planet because the vibration was so different. So Earth is like us, as we are multidimensional beings existing in multiple dimensions simultaneously. She is also. So I think everything is in cycles, and Mama goes in cycles. That's why we, as females, are controlled by her cycles, which are the moon cycles, which they control our menstruation. And we go with the moon. We travel with her, we flow with her, we're in rhythm with her. She controls so much of our physiological being and makeup and productions and procreation properties. Without those menses and without those cycles, we wouldn't have the ability to procreate. So this is like a major part of creation is the mother foundations and principles. And by them changing religion and making it patriarchal, we've lost all the connection with the divine feminine through our religious practices. And then through the squashing of the divine feminine in our entire world, we see the suppression of females, and we see women being suppressed and abused. And it's time for all of this to change, because cycles, nature runs in cycles. And I've been told this cycle is a cycle of change. Change is tough. Change can be hard sometimes, but once you get through it, it's a gift. It's a gift. So through us remembering these powers and activating these powers within ourselves, we actually will become the Christ. And when enough human beings start to resonate in this balance and in this state of being, and start to heal themselves, because this is where this goes. This goes into some really big self-healing. And people will want to go, how'd you do that? So you'll start seeing some pretty beautiful, amazing things. And when we come together and we focus on things together, there's nothing we cannot do. So this is the power of our mother, and this is the power that's been hidden from us for so long, because once this happens, it brings things into balance. It just does. And it's not about one over the other. This is the key. This is about the balancing of both energies, because they are both powerful and they are both honorable. Oh, and when they are in harmony, they dance. And we love to dance. Our spirit loves to be in joy. It loves to move in rhythm and oneness. And think about it, when we hear a good song, we all start to bounce and move in the same rhythm. We feel that rhythm, and that's our connection. It's rhythm, vibration, light, sound, and love. So we have to connect to this divine feminine part of us, which is the internal parts. This is the whole meaning of go within. Go within. It's reconnecting to the goddess, the feminine principles of creation, the creatrix of all that is. So part of this creatrix center system is our chakras. And she shows a diagram of the body and the chakras and the 7 wheels of energy within our being. And it says, there are 7 chakras that run from the base of the spine to the top of the head. All are connected by the serpentine energies of the spine. Each of these chakras serves as the meeting point between spirit and matter. The chakras are like filing cabinets for our emotional, mental, and spiritual natures. To achieve enlightenment, we must learn to clean and clear these chakras and align them and bring them into balance. And this is it. This is the spine. These are the energy centers directly connected to the spine. And through those energy centers, we are also connected to the above and the below. So as we have chakra centers above us in the cosmos, I believe too they're also within us and they're also within the earth. And it goes all the way down into, I think, the mitochondrial levels. So it goes really far down deep into things that are so small we yet can't see. So as big as it goes is as small as it goes. It's completely amazing. So even in the smallest thing, it's the universe. It's profound. So we were getting into the sacred circle and the celebration of ritual. The gourd is the shape of the medicine circle that holds all things in balance. It is the holy chalice that we fill with the ceremony and prayers. The circle is a place of communion where we will share our fondest dreams and banish our deepest fears. The women's heads bobbed subtly as they listened. Today, I wish to teach you about the 8 directions of space and time, and to talk about the differences between ritual and ceremony. Donna, Emerald, and Claudia exchanged a meaningful glance. Ritual and ceremony are both ways of calling in spiritual energies in order to communicate with the divine. Ritual is something that is done the same way over and over, and it is passed down from generation to generation, just like a sacred formula. This repetition of words, gestures, and intentions creates a resonance through time, like ripples moving through the time, the past and the present, linking all other sacred circles who have performed this ritual together. In this way, we can connect with all of those who have gathered in sacred song, dance, or ritual by the campfires throughout the ages. And this gives the ritual great power. We can observe this in many Buddhist, Jewish, and Orthodox Christian temples. Ceremony, however, is an ever-changing, living vehicle that is never done the same way twice. It arises spontaneously from the needs of the moment and can thus be powerful, heartfelt, and directly inspired by the Spirit. Both ritual and ceremony have the power to link us all, and the ability to link us to all other circles that have ever been, strengthening each with our prayers. Shasta looked around the circle to see if we were following her. So let's do an exercise. I want you to name any ritual that you can think of in your daily life. Images of a holy mass flashed through my head, the wafting of incense, the Nicene Creed, the sacrament of bread and wine. But before I could speak, Emerald raised her hand. Getting married, Emerald grinned. And everyone laughed. Yes, getting married was certainly a ritual. It had been done for thousands of years. Sarah raised her hand. Funerals, she offered. Claudia snorted, then laughed. Sorry, it's a strange juxtaposition. Marriage and funerals, like death and taxes. Several of the women giggled, seeing the joke. But Sarah was not done. Is it a ritual or a ceremony when we bury someone? Shasta answered. The funeral is the ritual, but the specifics, the way we honor the deceased, is different for every person. So that becomes the ceremony part. A ceremony within a ritual. Very interesting, I thought. Claudia grinned. How about receiving an Academy Award? Yes, she would think of that, being a wonderful makeup artist that she was. Plus, it was a funny idea. We had all seen so many Academy Award shows that by now they probably were a ritual. Nope, that's a ceremony, Shasta said. It even says so. The Academy Awards Ceremony. The event seems like a ritual since it occurs each year, but it's really a ceremony since it's different each time. I raised my hand. Why was the only thing I could think of being religious rites? How about Sunday morning service? Aren't they rituals? We do them the same way each time. Shasta nodded. Yes, going to church is a ritual. But the sermon, the songs, and the things that are shared each time are different, so those are the ceremonies. Try to think deeper. Think of other things that can become rituals in our lives, even if we are not aware of them. Alex cleared her throat. You mean like making the bed in the morning? Very good, Shasta nodded. These rituals have nothing to do with religion. They're part of your daily life. Like brushing your teeth, feeding a cat, taking the dog for a walk. These things become rituals too, and if we do them often enough. It was clear that none of us had ever thought of these activities as rituals before. They might be unconscious rituals, but nonetheless, they are rituals. Shasta looked around the circle. Anything that you do over and over again becomes a habit, and habits become rituals, and these begin to define your world. Eventually, you no longer question your own actions. You just do what you've been conditioned to do. This is how we all adopt our programs, and this is how we are all programmed not to think for ourselves. I began to see where this was going. It was as if everything we did had the power to become an unconscious ritual. Waking up at a certain time, showering, working 9 to 5 each day, paying our bills. We become hypnotized by our routines, and then we become blind to all the other choices. I thought of a story that I had once heard about the Native Americans. When the first clipper ships appeared off the coast of North America, the Native Americans were not able to see them. These large wooden ships were completely outside their world view. But the shaman, who had spent a lifetime developing more expanded consciousness, had been able to see the reflection of the ships in the water. After a few minutes, he could see the ship itself. When he shared this vision with the tribe, this allowed them to expand their perception to see the ships as well. Eventually, the entire tribe could see the ships as they allowed this new idea to enter into their consciousness. I realized then that we are each like this. We get used to a certain way of seeing the world, of seeing God, of seeing our reality, and then we cease to ask questions. Perhaps as children we saw more clearly, but after being told the same things over and over, year after year, we are lulled into a certain unconscious complacency. After a while, we cease to question our reality. We lose the ability to see the ship that is moored in the harbor. no matter how real it may be. Shasta lifted her chin in our dismayed expressions. I am not criticizing anyone. I am just saying that you must examine your actions carefully. Instead of running like a mouse through a maze in search of the same bite of cheese each day. When we are children, we see with fresh eyes, but then over time we become conditioned to believe whatever society tells us. But to become aware, we must first wake up inside of the dream. We must become purposeful. I exchanged a meaningful glance with Claudia. We had just been talking about this very subject in our careers. Claudia had said that she had went to work, paid her bills, ate, slept, and began to wonder if that's all there was to her life. Sometimes in the middle of this routine, there would be the excitement of a new romance or a new client. But she had the point. What was the purpose of this life if we just continued to run around in the maze? Shasta continued, starting today, one of your homework assignments is to make a list of all the rituals, the actions, both secular and spiritual, and don't forget to include the habits of the holidays. The holidays are times of serious ritual and what you unconsciously associate with them. For better or for worse, they can directly affect your experience. I knew exactly what she meant. My family had been so conditioned by the many years of my father's rages at the holidays that even after he passed away, we still continued to have yearly dramas each Christmas or Thanksgiving. It was too bad because I dearly loved Christmas. Shasta began speaking again. Why do you buy presents at the birthdays or Christmas? Why do you cook a turkey at Thanksgiving? Why are the football games on Sundays? Alex and Sharon shifted uneasily. I'm just suggesting that you think about what you are choosing. By paying attention and making deliberate choices in your life, you can begin to act from an awakened mind. Donna raised her hand. Does this mean that I can stop washing the dishes every night? I don't think my husband would like that. We all laughed. In this circle, Shasta responded, we will all be performing rituals, and we will be giving birth to spiritual thought forms for the purpose of manifesting them in our lives. But the two laws of the priestess path are do no harm to no one, and always protect children. These are the two primary laws that we live by. These words covered a host of subjects. If we harm no one, then we will always act in a positive way. And if we protect the children always, then we will take care of that next generation that will grow up to become wise and whole. Alex raised her hand. If we think bad things, it's like the black magic. Shasta looked suddenly serious. We will not be doing black magic here. When anyone uses his or her power selfishly, it always creates a very big karmic backlash. It is bad karma to use selfish intentions to threaten the free sender. To threaten the free will of anyone else. Plus, negative thought forms can rebound on the sender. So the spiritual work that we do here is always focused on the good. Everyone nodded. All right, let's go back to ritual and ceremony, Shasta said. Ceremony comes naturally to every human being, particularly women, who are more often in touch with their life transitions, more so than men. Women perform ceremonies all the time. For example, when you give birth, when you have birthday parties, not give birth, but that's pretty much a big ritual too. It happens a little different, but we all do it the same way. Hold birthday party, hold weddings, showers, or furnish your baby's bedroom to welcome them into the world. Ceremonies mark the end of one stage of life and the beginning of another, sanctifying events so that the moment is honored. Women have been marking life passages since time immemorial. Meg raised her hand. Can you just say what the difference is between ritual and ceremony again? Shasta cleared her throat. Ritual is more formal, and ceremony is more fluid. You can establish the energy of a circle in ritual by calling in the directions, and then fill up that circle with whatever kind of ceremony is appropriate for that moment in time. Understood? We all nodded, beginning to grasp the difference between the two. All right, guys, I need to get some more drinking beverages because my throat is ready for more. I love you. I hope you're finding this interesting. I love it. I think it's fascinating, and I'm learning a lot from it and learning how to reconnect with many of the parts of myself that I forgot. So I hope it's doing that for you as well, and you're reconnecting and remembering parts of you that have been sleeping and have been forgotten and have been hidden and suppressed from all of us. And that's male and female for a very long time. So I love you guys all. I can't wait till many of us can feel the divine marriage within, when the parasympathetic and the autonomic nervous system agree and ignite the Christ within. So I love you all. I'll see you on the next one. Have a beautiful day or night wherever you may be, and favor, joy, and may soul and spirit be with you all always.